Bryan, nice to have you here at Center College. Golf season, or your fall season, getting ready to start. Tell me first of all a little bit about what enticed you to want to come to Center College as the men's and women's golf coach.
Well, the traditions of success that the programs have, it's very rich here. Got a former national champion in Chris Morris that from 2011. Anytime you have a program in Division III that has produced champions, that's a school that cares about the sport. That was one of the biggest things, was knowing that when I would come in and take over the program, I was going to be backed by the school, and there's a lot of support there.
Of course, you know a little bit about the national champions yourself. You've coached one yourself, correct?
I did. And actually, he was a Kentucky boy from Ashland, Kentucky, Evan Cox. Coached him 2 years at Virginia Wesleyan. He's now transferred to University of Kentucky, so right up the road.
Yeah, and a very good player. But again, I'm not sure most people understand how hard it is to win a championship in Division III, because there's a lot of really good players, isn't there?
There are. There's a lot of people think that D1 is the cream of the crop, but they're just as good players in Division III. And what Evan accomplished last year, go in and beating, in a tournament, 210 of the best players in the nation. It's a pretty big deal.
It must be going to be interesting for you this year with your boys team, especially, just to decide who to play in matches. You've got a big roster.
Yeah, I've got 17, which is not normal for a golf program. I like to keep it around 10 to 12, but it's a great challenge. It's a great opportunity. I have a program for qualifying set in place to where they basically make, based on how they play, they determine who goes. So we do a running scoreboard, so the top 5 lowest scores, cumulative through the rounds, get to go. So every day is a competitive day in qualifying.
Well, that would mean, heck, I could coach then. If all you do is average a score, what do you do then to help those guys? Tell me, what's the golf coach do then?
To be honest with you, I'm more of a therapist.
Okay.
More of a therapist. You gotta manage their attitudes, manage their mental state. But I coach them. I teach them, throughout, how to think differently on the golf course to make them that much more competitive.
Of course, you've got a couple of players I've seen play for a long time, Dakota Jarman and Andrew McKinney. What kind of years are you expecting from them?
I'm expecting a lot from them. McKinney is actually going to Mexico for the fall, so we won't have him this fall, but he's going to be working at a resort down there in Mexico, and he'll come back ready for the spring. Dakota, I'm looking for a lot of things. 1, leadership. 2, putting up good numbers. He's come into practice. He's open to my coaching style and really taking a liking to how we're doing things. We're loaded. It's pretty tough to sit back and say, all right, well, this is going to be my 5, because I've got 10, 11, 12 guys that I could just pick them out of a hat and we'd be competitive. So it's pretty exciting to see.
Well, that certainly makes practice a lot more intense, I would think.
Absolutely. So when it comes to that, when everybody's on that same level, when you get them out there in practice, the ones that work the hardest, those tend to separate themselves and become the champions.
Now, the girls' side's a little bit different. You have, 8, 9 players there?
Girls' side's a little different. We have 9 now. We have 4 freshmen coming in. The Fine twins, Rachel and Rebecca, and then Allison Perry and Cameron Cahill, all very good players. They're going to be a great addition to the girls we have in returning. I see a lot of things coming. Jill Edgington, she's going to be a good leader for us. And then, Eliza and Allie Miller, Allie Henry, and Madison Grant. We've got a great group. They were ranked 26th last year. And with the addition of the 4 freshmen, I look to see a bit of a movement up that ranking.
Now, one thing a little unusual about the Center Golf program, you've got 2 sets of twins.
Yeah.
What I want to know, is it hard to tell them apart off the course?
For the Mattingly twins, yes. On the course, one's a lefty, one's a righty. Rachel and Rebecca, I've learned real quick the difference. Rebecca usually wears the glasses. Okay. So I'm able to determine there. But if she cut her hair a little bit shorter and took the glasses off, it'd be pretty tough.
I guess that makes it fun in a lot of ways.
It does.
Twins like that.
It does. But what's cool is that both sets of twins, when you put them in competition with each other, it's like they're just playing against a mirror. I mean, they're both both sets are equally as good as their sibling. So it's great. I got a 2-for-1 special on good golf.
Maybe that's the best way to go about recruiting is look for golf twins.
Yeah, that's right.
And
That's
also,
right.
well, I know you're looking forward to everything going on this year. Of course, it's a long time till May when you get your national championships and conference championships coming up. The fall is also an important time for setting the tone.
Absolutely. We got a lot of work to do. I mean, I've got a great group in both the men and women, and we're ahead of where I thought we would be just in the first week. But we've got a lot of work to do, a lot of growing to do together. I'm a big believer the key to a championship is being close. Being able to play for the person next to you instead of playing for yourself. So they're close now, but we've got a long way to go before they fully trust me. Which is understandable, and then before I can fully understand what makes them tick. So the fall is probably the most important piece of that puzzle.
Well, if you ever need to bring them back down to earth, just call me and I'll bring out my 1972 Citation Power Built irons.
Right on.
Let them try to play when it used to be real golf instead of all this equipment they got now.
It is definitely a new world with equipment.
Yeah. Well, Brian, glad to have you here. I know you're going to have a great year.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.